Part B is about interest problems. Interest problems can take one of two or three forms. Investing money in an account usually yields some kind of interest, although nowadays we're not getting anything like 8%. Instead, you might see a problem about a bank loan. When the bank loans you money, they charge you interest. Here's our example for this part. Suppose you invest a certain amount of money in an account that earns 8% annual interest. A certain amount of money. The actual amount is undisclosed or unknown. So this is going to be our X, our unknown. At the same time, you invest $2,000 more than that. So whatever X is, $2,000 more than that is X plus 2,000. $2,000 more than that in an account that pays 9% in annual interest. If the total interest from both accounts at the end of the year is $690, how much is invested in each account? Interest problems are like coin problems in that we're going to have one sentence that talks about the number of dollars invested and another sentence that talks about the value, in this case the interest. We're given a hint here, a reminder that the formula for simple interest is I equals PRT. In other words, the interest earned in any account is equal to the principal in the account times the interest rate, R for rate, times T, the time in years that the money is in the account. Principal just means how much did you invest? If I invest $10,000 in an account that yields 5% interest, then $10,000 is my P, my principal. R, rate, has to be in a form that we can use in a formula using multiplication. So instead of 8%, I'm going to use 0.08, which is the decimal form of this percentage. Instead of 9% in this problem, I'll be using 0.09. Time is the number of years. If I invest $10,000 for 5 years, then T would be 5. In this question, the total interest from both accounts at the end of the year, there's only 1 year here. So in this example, my T is going to be 1. I erased the note I had earlier, but I'm going to need it again. I just want to remind you that the certain amount of money, the unknown quantity that I invest in the first account is X dollars. So it's going to be X dollars and 8%. At the same time, I'm going to invest $2,000 more than that. $2,000 more than the amount I invested at 8%. That's how much I'm investing at 9%. Since interest equals principal times rate times time, the interest in this account will be the principal, the amount invested, which is X, times the rate, written as a decimal, which is 0.08, times the time, which is 1 year. If I reverse the order of this multiplication, I get 0.08x. And if I multiply that by 1, I get the same thing. So the interest I earn on X dollars is represented by this quantity here. The interest I earn from the other investment, the amount invested at 9%, is going to be the principal times the rate, 9% written as a decimal, times the time, 1 year. How much did I invest? What's my principal here? $2,000 more than I invested at 8%. So this X plus 2,000 is my principal. Now let's tidy this up. This is multiplication, and this is addition. So I have distribution here. I also have multiplication here and here, so I could do this multiplication first. 0.09 times 1 is just 0.09. Now when I distribute, I get 0.09 times x plus 0.09 times 2,000. This is the amount of interest that I'll get on the account that pays 9%. All I've done so far is figure out how to represent the amount of interest I'll get in one account and a way to represent the amount of interest I'll get in the other account. I'm also told, though, that the total interest from both accounts at the end of the year is $690. The total interest. In other words, if I add these two interests up, the interest I get from the first account and the interest I get from the second account, that interest is $690. So now I have an equation that I can solve. Combining like terms, I get 0.08 x plus 0.09 x is 0.17x. Write down the rest of the problem. Then the addition property of equality lets me subtract the same quantity from both sides. And the multiplication property of equality lets me divide both sides by the same amount. I just did the division on my calculator. I have a sentence that says x equals 3,000. So it looks like that's my answer, but I haven't completely finished solving the problem yet. The question I was asked is, how much is invested in each account? I've only found the amount invested in one of the accounts. Remember that I invested X dollars at 8%, and I invested $2,000 more than that at 9%. So I've found the amount invested at 8%. But how much is invested at 9%? Well, $2,000 more than that. $2,000 more than 3,000 is 5,000. This is my final answer.